How we doing? All right. So, can you believe it? It's the Hogwarts Express again. So we're in the Jumanji greenhouse. Welcome to Andy's BCA channel. Bikes, camper vans and allotments. Bit of a mixture. So take what you pick. Watch what you like. Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Or is it the evening? Anyway, so previous jobs that we spoke about on the allotment. We were going to move the gutter. I've got some plant feed to go in. And what else did we have going on? We were sorting the water out, weren't we? Yeah. So if you just bear with me a minute, I'm just killing two birds, as they say. Well, I shouldn't really say that, should I? Anyway, put myself up against it. So I'm going to do a bit of watering first with these tomatoes. But what I'm going to do is, I was doing a bit of reading, sad as I am, that cucumbers, do you like an NPK feed of 555 on your fertilizer readings? So what I've done is I've got this dahlia mix, this dahlia bumper crop mix from Elixir Garden Supplies at Morecambe. It's near enough for 555. It's a 5710. So basically, it's a fertilizer feed. So we've got no rules here. Don't forget, there is no rules. It might say bumper crop for dahlias, Andy, but it's an NPK of 555 or near enough. It's 5510, I think, something like that. But I'm not going to put too much in. Just put less in, yeah, into the water. And that's for the cucumbers. So we're in the mix, and the chillies, so we're going to do a mix on that as well. A bit of watering, which I'll probably bore you to death. I'll try and be as quick as I can with the watering. But also another little tip for you is, don't forget we've got the lavender keeping calm Epsom salts, yeah. So good for the tomato plants, and that keeps them calm, because the first thing you get with, like Prince Charles, he talks to his plants, don't forget. Well, sorry, not Prince Charles, King Charles, isn't it? King Charles. King Charles talks to his plants and does a lot of horticultural anyway, yeah. So they're keeping calm with the lavender Epsom salts, yeah. So last things that tomato plants like is being shocked, yeah. Then you get the rotting, I forget what, black bottom rotting, whatever they call it. Things that too much water and excess and that can just chuck them into a bad tomato, yeah. And then once one gets it, they all get it and it starts spreading, yeah, right. So again, we're doing all right with the cucumbers as well. Right, put that down, we've seen that already. Oh, can't keep bending. We're doing all right with the cucumbers as well. So we I was just trying to sort this out. Yeah, we're doing all right with the cucumbers as well. We've got no fungus on the leaves or anything like that. We had a couple of cucumbers coming through, didn't we, if you remember? A couple of big ones. I think they're roughly the same size, to be honest. But yeah, so just bear with me a minute. Back again. Here we are. So just going to bore you to death for a minute. Just want to do a bit of watering. Oh God, I'm going to get it everywhere now. So, like I said, don't want to give it too much. But in here, I've got the NPK of 555 going in. Watering some tomato plants and that here with some. For the tomato plants, don't forget I put the lavender Epsom salts in. Apparently they bring the calcium back in, give it a bit more calcium. So I'll just try to fill these trays up as well. Yeah, so good for tomatoes. Epsom salts puts calcium back into it. And then the other reading that I got of the fertiliser, the 555, I'm going to put that in with the cucumbers. So I mixed it in. It's soluble. Soluble means it can go in the tub with the water. Like most of it, it just dissolves anyway. So don't forget, just a spoonful, big spoonful, and then, you know, big old 5 litre tub like that, that'll sort you. Just bear with me a minute. Tell you what, it's not good for me. let's get these filled. I can only half fill these because this gets a bit too much. I'm going to take the end off because I'll just do with tipping that in quickly. There we go. So then we're doing all right. So we're going to get these trays filled up a bit. One of the other jobs that I said, which I'm not really looking forward to, is we're going to snip some of the tops off here. So we'll do that. We'll make a start of that now. Probably looks a bit crucial, but or a bit rough, or whatever you want to call it. But the thing is, you might as well cut these down. And what we could do, that's filling up with water out there, I'm just keeping an eye on that. Take the odd snip off, you know. Take a lot of this greenery off, because we've only got, what, 3-4 weeks left of the growing season. Take a lot of this greenery off, get your tomatoes out, get all the goodness going into your tomatoes, yeah. Take these off, that's not going to go anywhere. Ain't that a shame? Hey. Hanging out, not going to get a lot off that, are we? Nothing coming off that one. Bit of that cut off there. Let's see how it's coming off there. Yes, that water's just filling that tub up. See, if there's a couple of tomatoes up there, you might as well keep what you can, you know. I think the idea was to cut it down really, but you're not going to get that much off it. What's the point? Not a lot off that. So yeah, so that's what I mean about cutting the plants down a bit. There's no point in having all your greenery everywhere. If you're looking at stuff and stuff, you know, stuff that's not going to get any, you're not going to get much more out of that. So there's no point in keeping it. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Just swapping water barrels, just filling up some snippy snip snip. that. How are you going to get out off it? You don't know. But not these side ones. Get nothing off them. Unless anything's flowered or anything, I mean like this. If I just took that behind there like that, then that's fine. Big old greenery, nothing coming off that. You'll get a gist of it now, so see a lot of these. Do you remember it was only 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was only 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we were only so high. Do you remember? Only so high. So I'm just taking some of these that we're not going to get. You know, it's stealing the goodness off the plant. And if you want to get as many tomatoes as you can, take the time wasters off. They're just time wasters. Not going to get anywhere with them. You might as well have the goodness coming back into the tomato itself. So these pointless ones. What about side shoots that I haven't even got any flowers on? These are your side shoots off the tomato plants. No flowers on them or anything. Total waste of time. All they're doing is stealing the goodness for the tomato plant. That's all they're doing. Plus it gives the tomatoes room. As you can see here, we'll come back, I'll show you in a minute. Giving the tomatoes more room to breathe, more room to produce. And that, so 2 minutes, here we go. Right. There we go, so we'll just fold that one behind that, like so. Let me see if we do cut them, if I cut them down, I'll end up losing a lot, you see, so I don't want to cut too much off. Just enough to cut these side shoots off, side shoots that aren't needed. There we go. Some ones at the back here. There we go, I've got 2 big ones off there. Just sends all the goodness into the tomatoes themselves. You know, why not? Great, I think I just cut a tomato off there. Lovely. Plant murderer. Yeah. So it's basically thinning them out, thinning the tomato plants out. I mean, there's quite a lot of tomatoes, as we've seen already, that are already here. You know, we've got quite a lot of tomato plants, tomatoes growing here already. So let's get the goodness into the tomatoes. Yeah, cut all these side shoots off, all these useless. Yeah, just knocking the water off there. Side shoots, so what do we call them? They're a drainer of resources. That's what they are, a drainer of resources. So, a drainer of resources. There's quite a lot up here. Quite a lot to shoot off and get rid of. But the cutting, I mean, what's that doing? That's not doing anything, is it? Or is it? It isn't now, it's been cut off. Do I? Don't I? Yeah. So we're all learning all the time, yeah? That's what allotment is all about. There's always something to learn, a mistake to be made. You make a mistake, you learn off them, don't you? Simple as that. You make a mistake and it can get quite pricey on an allotment. I can guarantee you one thing, you won't do it again. There's quite a few here that need snipping away. Problem is you got all that growing out of there, look, like that. All I've had to do is fold it off. You know, when it's hitting the roof, what can you do? Not a lot you can do, like they'll snip it. No, got enough tomatoes anyway. Got enough growing off it. But yeah, snipping away. So, I was watching, I follow a few people on YouTube, and the couple that I followed lately, really nice people. We've watched Camper Vibe for a year or two now, from going in the van to doing up the cottage in Ireland. And we're watching, that was Louise and Emily, watching Nick and Sarah lately. Nick and Sarah? Yeah, Nick and Sarah out in Portugal. Yeah, so both YouTube channels for them two, Camper Vibe. Is it X-Powers? Nick and Sarah anyway. They both of them's crippled me actually, to be honest, because I'm a dog lover. And both of the YouTube channels for these people, they've both lost their dogs. So Louise and Emily lost AJ, and my Jess is quite old. She's 13 now, just turned 13. What can you do, you know? And them dogs come with me everywhere. They used to come to work with me when I used to work, and they come, most times they come on the allotment with me. But even when I have somebody that helps me walk them as well, because I have a lot of bad days now than good days with my legs. But even Nick and Sarah, I watched their channel today, and they've just lost Charlie Boy. That looks like a border terrier. It's only, I like small dogs. But yeah, two YouTube channel people that I've been following for quite a long time, you know, and they've lost their dogs. And the thing is, it's upsetting if you know somebody or you know people. I've also lost a close friend, a very close friend of mine. Lost his life July 25th, Friday. I'll never forget that in my life at all. Never forget it. And there's just been a lot of bad luck lately, and you know, it's hard, isn't it? Two dogs, and I've lost my best mate. And now that bloody train's here again. Yeah, so I'm gonna miss Mark Marsden. Gonna miss him. And it's a sad situation with the two dogs as well. Charlie Boy. I mean, when you look at the both of them dogs, Charlie Boy and AJ, right? The amount of countries that they've visited with going around in the camper van and that, you know, what a life they've had. They've had a real cracking life. You know, there's probably not anywhere that they've not been, and the exercises. Yeah, so, you know, Nick and Sarah with Charlie Boy and that, I mean, when I read along with it, he died in Sarah's lap, just drifted off to sleep, which is a good thing, you know. And I suppose when we lose these dogs are so loyal. You know, you could have the baddest day at work, and which I have done in the past, and dealt with problems. Some of the things I used to do in the office, it's just problem solving. Everything was reacting, and you're dealing with everybody else's problems and mental health and things that go on in the family. You're trying to keep a steady ship and all that lot. And you know, and then I lose my best friend, and then I just come back off holiday with him as well, you know. So, and all you can do is, to be honest, all you can do is try and celebrate their lives, and celebrate AJ's lives and Charlie Boy's lives. I mean, look at the footage that they have, and of all the countries that they visited and everything. And, you know, it's like my mate Mark, you know, he worked in trucks, he'd driven trucks most of his life, worked at different places, and we spent the last few years and went on holiday together. I got close to his family and close to his friends, and it was nice to be accepted and meet new people and be involved in the family, and just to be whipped away from you just like that. So, and I'm just trying my best at the moment now just to remember the good times, and make sure that he gets a good send-off and that, and I'm sure that between all of us that's what we'll do. And the same with AJ and that, and Louise and Emily, they're picking up the pieces, I guess, at the moment. And it's not about forgetting and moving on. You've got to remember and everything and all that lot. But I think, you know, in your head and in their heads as well, you know, it happens to everybody. A farmer once said to me, because I've struggled with my back and my legs all my life. I used to love talking to the old hands and the farmers when I used to collect milk off the farms a few years ago. And a farmer tapped me, you could see I was struggling with the pipe collecting the milk one day. He said, "Hey up lad," he says, "I can see you struggling there." He says, "But what you've always got to remember is there's always somebody worse off than you." And I've had that logged in my head. I might struggle with pain and struggle with bits and pieces and all that lot, but there's other people that are worse off than what we are, and worse conditions, and don't have, you know, the ability to do stuff and stuff like that, and live their lives and travel about and walk even, you know. And so I feel like I'm just having a mental health a session, to be honest, but it's good to talk, and I don't mind putting it out there, and I will remember these people, and I will celebrate their lives and that, whilst I bore you to death while I'm chopping these tomato plants down and giving them a bit of a feed. Yeah, so just trying to block out all this bad luck that's going on lately. There's a lot of bad luck flying about at the moment, but like I say, there's always somebody else worse off than what we're doing and that. So I just wish everybody well. Everybody's struggling at the moment. Wish everybody well, and just trying to keep the head above water. But that's been going on for how long now? You know, how many years can you keep going on? So there's quite a lot over on this side. So again, all these, just get rid of them. You don't need them. You know, we're coming up to a part in the season, the growing season, that if you've got no tomatoes on them, get rid of them. What we'll do is, once I've cut all these down and that, we'll have a bit of a walk round, and you'll see the difference. Yeah. So there we have it. All right. So I'm going to cut the filming off now, because there's a bit more to do in here, as you can see. And we're not doing too bad on these tomatoes. There's quite a few tomatoes about at the moment. So I reckon in about, 7 to 10 days, we'll start getting some colouring in them, which will be good. And that some people have already got red tomatoes on this allotment round here at the moment. So, but like anything, I just don't want to rush it, and you don't want to be eating 1,000 tomatoes like Alan Titchmarsh said, you know, in August. Oh, tomato sandwich, anyone? Tomato soup, cheese and tomato, you know. So anyway, yeah. So let's keep our heads above water. Let's get on with whatever we've got to get on with and make the best of it. And then I'm doing a bit of planning tonight when I get home. I'm planning the surprise trip. That's what I'm doing. I'm working out where I'm going, what I'm doing, because this trip has been coming up for a long time. And I blame all the other YouTubers for it, because I've been watching them and thinking, do you know what? I can do that. I won't mind a bit of that. So I'm going to have a bit of it. Yeah. So I'm not letting the cat out the bag where we're going or what we're doing yet. I'm not going to tell anybody. You'll probably see me on either a ferry or whatever, and the first video will be we're gone. We've just gone. Where we're going, don't know. Tell you when I get there. Right, I need to get on with this, right, or otherwise I'll talk you to death. Right, happy days, guys. Keep it real. Don't forget, if you like my channel, please subscribe, spread the love, be inclusive. Don't be horrible in the comments. Let's look after each other. And if I've done and said something wrong, I didn't do it intentionally, help me and advise me properly. Alright? Love to you all. See you again.